Riftwalkers Radio is waiting for you.
Just step through the rift
and discover a world of fantasy like you've never heard before. Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something a little spooky?
Ooh, spooky. I'm ready.
Well, today we're headed to Brookstone.
Brookstone.
Yeah, it's this small village nestled in the Adirondack foothills.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
And we're going to uncover a mystery that chills me to the bone.
All right, lay it on me. I'm intrigued.
What happens when a town's like deeply held traditions, turn out to be something much darker?
Oh, I like where this is going.
That's what we're exploring today.
Okay.
With Harvest of Shadows.
Harvest of Shadows.
A fictional tale by Garnet Starr.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this one.
It's a good one?
It's a story that draws you in right away.
Oh, totally.
With the familiar warmth of autumn and pumpkins.
I think you're all cozy, but then bam.
Bam! It takes a turn towards the unsettling.
And that's what I love about it.
Right.
It plays on our expectations. We think of pumpkins and harvest festivals as joyful. But this story twists that into something eerie.
Like something that makes you look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
On a dark night.
Exactly.
I love that.
It reminds us that even the most ordinary things,
Like pumpkins.
even pumpkins, can hold hidden depths.
Ooh.
Secrets just waiting to be unearthed.
So let's paint the picture for everyone.
Okay, let's set the scene.
It's 1883 in Brookstone.
1883, okay.
And life revolves around the land. Every October, the town comes alive for the Harvest Festival.
Right, a celebration of the season's bounty.
Exactly. And the heart of this festival is the pumpkins.
The pumpkins.
Yeah.
Specifically the largest.
The most perfect pumpkin.
Yes, chosen as the sentinel.
The sentinel.
The symbol of protection for the town.
I love that.
Imagine the entire community gathers.
Oh, wow.
And this chosen pumpkin, it's carved and placed in the town square.
Oh, that's so cool.
Glowing with candlelight. It's a ritual.
A ritual.
That speaks to their connection to the land.
Yeah.
And their traditions.
It's almost like a promise, right?
A promise.
A promise that as long as the sentinel stands watch,
yes,
the town will be safe.
Uh-oh.
There are whispers.
Whispers?
Rumors about the pumpkin fields.
What kind of rumors?
Rumors that they're cursed.
Oh, no, that's creepy.
Those whispers add a layer of unease right from the start.
Yeah, for sure.
They make you question everything you thought you knew.
About Brookstone.
About Brookstone.
And its traditions.
Is the sentinel truly a protector? Or is it something more sinister?
Right. Like, what's really going on here?
Exactly.
And that's the question that haunts our main character, Margaret Talbot.
Margaret Talbot.
She's a farmer's daughter.
Okay.
Skeptical.
Skeptical.
Yet curious about these local legends.
I feel that.
Right. She tries to brush them off as old wives' tales. But deep down, a part of her can't help but wonder.
That's how it always starts, right?
Exactly. It starts with curiosity.
Margaret represents that conflict we all feel sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Between logic and intuition.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We want to believe in the rationale, but there's a part of us that's drawn to the mystery.
Ooh, the mystery.
To the things we can't explain.
I love that.
And in this story, those unexplained things start to creep into Margaret's life.
Oh, no.
Quite literally.
Uh-oh.
One evening, she ventures into the pumpkin fields.
The pumpkin fields at night? That's scary.
Drawn by an almost magnetic pull.
Can you picture it?
Walking through a field at night.
Ooh.
The air is thick with anticipation.
Oh, yeah, I can feel it.
The rustling of leaves making you jump at every sound.
That's scary.
That's the kind of dread Margaret is experiencing.
Okay, so I'm with her. I'm feeling it.
And it intensifies when she stumbles upon this massive pumpkin.
A massive pumpkin. Okay.
Unlike any she's ever seen before.
What do you mean?
Flawless.
Flawless.
Unnaturally cold.
Unnaturally cold. That's creepy.
And with a disturbing face etched onto its surface.
I am getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Right.
It's like the pumpkin itself is watching her.
Watching her.
Judging her.
And when she tries to leave the field,
what happens?
the pumpkins seem to loom larger.
Oh,
Their shadows stretching out like grasping claws.
that's a scene straight out of a nightmare.
That's the power of the author's craft.
Yeah. They're really good at pulling you in.
It's not just about describing what Margaret sees.
Yeah.
It's about making you feel the fear.
Oh, yeah.
The growing sense of unease.
Yeah, dread.
That something is deeply wrong.
Totally. And of course, which pumpkin do you think it's chosen as the sentinel?
Oh, no, don't tell me.
Yep. Margaret's pumpkin.
The one with the creepy face.
The one with the creepy face.
Oh, no.
Now it's in the town square.
Oh, boy.
And while everyone else is celebrating,
Mm-hmm.
Margaret is starting to feel this knot of dread in her stomach.
Because she's the only one who's had that direct, unsettling encounter
Right.
with the pumpkin. The coldness,
Yeah, the coldness.
the etched face, it all suggests a presence.
A presence.
Something beyond the natural world.
Ooh, that's spooky.
And now it's at the heart of their festival.
Oh, no.
At the heart of their town.
The festival gets going, and you can feel this underlying tension.
Yeah.
Night falls.
Oh, boy.
The wind picks up.
Okay.
The candlelight inside the sentinel,
Yeah.
it flickers,
Ooh.
casting dancing shadows across the faces of the townsfolk.
Spooky.
It's like the story itself is holding its breath.
It's like it's building up to something.
Yeah, waiting for something to happen.
And
then midnight hits.
midnight.
Silence descends upon the town square.
Oh, wow. Everyone's just holding their breath.
Everyone's gaze is fixed on the glowing pumpkin.
Yeah.
The air thick with anticipation.
Ooh. The tension is palpable.
And that's when things start to get really freaky.
All right. I'm ready. Tell me what happens.
Oh, you'll have to wait for part 2.
You can't leave me hanging like that.
You have to come back for more to find out what happens next.
I'll definitely be back. I need to know what happens in Brookstone.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to dive back in with you in part 2.
Me too. All right. So last time we left off.
Oh, yeah. Things were getting pretty creepy.
Yeah. It was midnight in Brookstone.
Midnight.
Everyone was staring at the sentinel.
Total silence.
And those vines.
The vines. Oh, yeah. The ones wrapped around the pumpkin.
Yeah. They started moving.
Oh, no. Like how?
Not just swaying in the wind,
Mm-hmm.
but slithering
Slithering.
across the cobblestones, reaching out like fingers.
That's such a creepy image.
I know. Gives me chills just thinking about it.
I could totally picture it. Those vines slithering across the town square.
It's like they were alive, you know?
Yeah, like possessed by some unseen force.
And while that's happening, the pumpkin starts to swell.
The pumpkin. What do you mean swell?
Like it's getting bigger.
Oh, wow.
The light inside.
Yeah, the candlelight.
It gets brighter, more erratic.
Erratic.
Yeah, like pulsing almost.
Like a heartbeat.
Yeah, exactly like a beating heart.
Oh, that's so freaky.
And then this sound pierces the silence.
What kind of sound?
Like a cracking sound.
Clicking.
The sentinel splits wide open.
Oh, no. What happened?
It's like something is breaking free.
From inside the pumpkin.
Yeah, and this wave of darkness spills out into the square.
Oh, wow. So it's even creepier than I imagined.
It goes from eerie to downright terrifying.
So what comes out of the pumpkin?
These shadowy figures.
Shadowy figures. Okay, I'm officially scared now.
They're tall and twisted.
Like made of what?
It's like they're made of smoke, you know?
Oh, wow.
Not quite human.
So like phantoms or ghosts.
Yeah, more like phantoms of something lost and forgotten.
That's eerie. And what about the townspeople?
They're paralyzed with fear.
I bet.
You can imagine the chaos.
People screaming, running.
Trying to get away from these figures.
Yeah, they defy the laws of nature.
But one of the figures is drawn to Margaret.
Margaret.
Remember, she's the one who found the pumpkin.
Right.
And their eyes meet.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here. What happens?
There's this detail that always gets me.
What's that?
The story says there's no malice in the figure's eyes.
Really? No malice.
Just this deep, sorrowful hunger.
Sorrowful hunger. Okay, that's a really interesting way to describe it.
Like they're not there to harm, but to reclaim something.
Reclaim. What do you mean?
And as the figure passes Margaret, it whispers something.
What? What does it whisper?
Return what was taken.
Return what was taken.
Chilling, right?
It's so creepy, like a demand, a plea, and a warning all at once.
Exactly, and it raises so many questions.
Yeah, what was taken? From whom? And what happens if it's not returned?
That's what makes the story so compelling.
So what happens next?
Will the shadowy figures vanish?
Just like that.
Gone as quickly as they appeared?
Wow. What's left behind?
A shattered pumpkin.
The sentinel's broken.
Yeah. Extinguished flames.
Oh, wow.
And a town consumed by fear.
It's like the story itself is broken, too.
Yeah, like a shattered promise.
That image of the broken pumpkin and the extinguished flames, it's so powerful.
It symbolizes the broken promise of protection.
Right. The illusion of safety is gone.
And that's where the story shifts.
From spooky to something deeper.
Yeah, it makes you think.
About what?
About the choices we make and the consequences.
Our actions have consequences.
That ripple through time. Have you ever felt that?
Like when?
Like when something good happens, but
But.
it feels fragile.
Like it could all fall apart.
Yeah, a reminder of what could go wrong.
I know exactly what you mean. It's like walking on eggshells.
Exactly.
One wrong step and everything could go wrong.
That's the feeling in Brookstone.
After the festival.
The shadows are gone,
What?
but the fear lingers.
Makes sense.
And Margaret,
What about her?
she can't let it go.
She's drawn back to the pumpkin field.
Driven by a need for answers.
She's like a moth to a flame.
That same curiosity.
That led her to the cursed pumpkin in the first place.
And what she finds. It's both reassuring and unsettling.
Oh no. What does she find? So the field's back to normal.
Yeah, like nothing happened. Rows and rows of pumpkins.
Yeah.
But there, in the exact spot where the sentinel stood, is a new pumpkin.
A new pumpkin.
Even bigger, more perfect than the one before.
It's like a reward, right?
Yeah.
Like everything is okay now?
Like a second chance.
Yeah.
But it's also a reminder
Of what?
of that power.
The power that created the shadows.
A power that can create and destroy.
So it's a delicate balance.
The story says, Margaret knew without needing to be told, the sentinel was not a guardian.
Ooh, what was it?
It was a warning.
A warning. That line gives me chills every time I read it.
Changes everything right.
Yeah. The sentinel wasn't protecting the town.
It was a way to appease something.
To keep something at bay.
Like a desperate bargain.
So what was taken from Brookstone?
The story doesn't say exactly,
Right.
but it hints that Brookstone has a dark past.
Remember those whispers about the pumpkin fields? Yeah. Being cursed.
Like something's buried there.
Something valuable.
Or sacred.
Taken from the land.
From Brookstone itself.
So those shadows.
Their sorrowful hunger.
It's the land's grief.
Longing for what was lost.
And the sentinel.
As a way to keep the shadows quiet.
A fragile balance.
Until it was disrupted.
And the shadows emerged.
To reclaim what was stolen.
It makes you think, right?
About
what we take for granted.
Like what?
The resources we use, the traditions we follow.
The stories we tell about our past.
It reminds us
Of what?
that our actions have consequences.
We're all connected.
To something larger than ourselves.
And sometimes ignoring the past.
It can come back to haunt us.
So where does Margaret fit in?
She's the witness.
The one who sees the truth.
She feels the unease.
Ventures into the darkness.
And understands the sentinel.
And she's a farmer's daughter.
Connected to the land.
To the source of the curse.
She holds the key.
To restoring balance.
To righting the wrongs. But will she embrace that role?
Or succumb to the fear?
This deep dive has been a wild ride.
From spooky pumpkins to deep questions.
About our relationship with nature.
The consequences of our actions.
And the possibility of redemption.
And remember,
Garnet Starr lives in Brookstone.
What if the story is a reimagining of Brookstone's history?
That's a chilling thought.
Makes you wonder how much is fiction.
And how much is truth.
So what does it all mean for us?
Why should we care about this story?
Because it speaks to a universal truth.
That we're all connected.
To the land.
To the past.
To each other.
Our choices have consequences.
Even the small ones.
We can't just keep taking.
Without giving back.
And it's not just about the environment.
It's about how we treat each other.
Our communities.
Our history.
We can't ignore injustice.
Or forget the past.
Our actions create imbalance.
A sorrowful hunger.
But there's always hope.
The possibility of redemption.
Margaret's journey shows us that.
We can face the darkness.
Acknowledge our mistakes.
Seek healing.
The new pumpkin reminds us.
That forgiveness is possible.
But fragile.
We have to maintain that balance.
Honor the past.
Make amends.
It starts with awareness.
Recognizing our interconnectedness.
Harvest of Shadows challenges us.
To look deeper.
To question our assumptions.
To consider the impact of our choices.
Even in darkness.
There's a flicker of hope.
A chance to make things right.
That's the takeaway.
We started with spooky pumpkins.
And ended with a reflection on the world.
The spookiest stories.
Hold the most truth.
Check out Garnet Starr's other stories.
You might uncover some answers.